Investiture of the Gods, Chapter 71.
General Xuan with his 5-colored light. He's been unstoppable for weeks, hasn't he? Just swallowing up weapons, allies, generals.
Everything Zia threw at him, yeah. He was the ultimate roadblock. Like, spiritually, within the rules of this war so far, he seemed unbeatable.
But then the source says someone completely unexpected shows up. Jinti Dao Ren.
Exactly. And this arrival signals that we're hitting a new power level. Shinti comes onto the scene, and his whole description is immediately, well, complex. It sort of blurs the lines we thought we understood.
Okay, tell us about his entrance, because the source paints a picture that feels almost out of place for this setting. Right?
Yeah, it really does. He's wearing Taoist robes, which seems familiar, within the context of the story. But his symbols are totally different. He's got this tree branch, okay, common enough maybe, but he's strongly linked to the Western Pure Land. The text specifically mentions things like the 8 Virtues Pool, the 7 Treasures Forest.
Which sounds much more Buddhist.
Precisely. Imagery tied to Buddhist enlightenment. And get this, he wears a sacred relic, usually Buddhist, right on his head. And he starts preaching the 3 vehicles.
Whoa, hang on. Let's pause there. He shows up in this primarily Chinese, sort of Taoist-centric, epic-looking half-Taoist, carrying Buddhist symbols, and preaching the great middle and lesser ways to enlightenment. What's going on with this mix?
Well, I think it's fascinating because this character seems to represent a huge cosmological shift that's happening within the story itself.
Yeah.
I mean, Feng Xinyanyi is mostly about Taoism rising and the Zhou dynasty starting.
Yeah.
But Zunti arriving linked to what will become Buddhism, the Western paradise.
Yeah.
It suggests the stakes are bigger than just China, bigger than local gods.
Wow.
It's like a subtle hint that even the highest powers in the East might be, influenced or superseded by forces coming from the West.
Huh. So it's less like a simple fight and more like a spiritual recruitment drive or redirection. What does he actually offer, Guan?
It's not really an invitation to join his side in the war. It's more like an invitation to accept fate. Junti basically tells him, look, you're destined to come with me.
Okay.
The offer is, ditch this killing kalpa, this endless cycle of war and bloodshed, and come to the Western paradise. Attain the adamantine body, the Jinggang Buhuai Ziti.
Yeah.
Basically, immortality, freedom from decay, getting off the wheel of earthly fate.
Wow. That's a pretty big offer. Pitting his current loyalty against eternal salvation. I'm guessing Xuan doesn't just say yes.
No. He refuses and attacks, goes straight at him with his huge polearm, the Digan Dao.
And Zunti?
Zidi doesn't even block like you'd expect. He just uses his own special item, the 7 Treasures wonderful tree. The Kibab Miaoshu, he gives it a little flick, like brushing dust off his sleeve. And the polearm just vanishes. Gone.
Whoa.
So Xuan tries again, this time with his golden whip. Same result. Zunti just casually brushes it away with the tree branch.
That's incredibly intimidating. It's not even a struggle. It's like Zunti is operating on a completely different plane of existence.
Exactly. It shows he's so far above Xuan, fighting isn't even necessary. That wonderful tree seems to be a weapon of, spiritual negation. It just cancels things out.
So what does Xuan do? He can't use weapons.
Right. He realizes physical attacks are pointless, so he uses his ultimate move, his non-physical power, that famous red light. And he actually manages to scatter Zunti for a second.
Okay, so he lands something.
A fleeting something.
Yeah.
Because this is where it gets really wild. Zunti comes back, recites some kind of powerful verse.
Yeah.
And instantly, Xuan's physical armor, his helmet, they just shatter. He's forced to reveal this huge temporary spiritual form. The source calls it a saintly image. It's got 18 hands, 24 heads.
24 heads.
Yeah, holding all sorts of things. Parasols, vases, pestles, bells, bows, banners, you name it. It's like his ultimate power manifestation.
That sounds terrifying. Surely that does something.
Nope. Even this massive multi-limbed divine form, Junti handles it easily. Uses a simple silk cord, just ties it up.
A silk cord on that.
Apparently. Then he places this thing called the adding power scepter, the Jiasi Boku, on the image and basically commands it to reveal its true essence.
And this is the big reveal.
This is the shocker. In that final moment, the invincible General Xuan, the terror of Zia's army, is reduced to his original form, which is a red-crested, thin-eyed peacock.
A peacock. All that power, all that menace boils down to a peacock.
It's a stunning image, isn't it? The beautiful, powerful bird, but ultimately contained. It's total subjugation.
So what happens then?
Junti immediately hops on the peacock's back, basically claims him as his ride, his spiritual vehicle. He's converted him, confirmed his new path, Gijin Guo, the text says.
Wow.
But importantly, before Zhou rides off west with him, he orders the Peacock to release all the generals and disciples he captured earlier with his light.
Ah, so Zia gets his people back.
Instantly, the whole army is suddenly whole again. The spiritual roadblock, gone, cleared by a power from way outside the current conflict.
Okay, so the massive spiritual crisis is resolved, like Deus Machina style, almost.
Very much, yeah.
But now Zia faces a totally different kind of crisis. Logistics.
Yeah.
He's got his army back, they're ready to move, but he needs to be careful. This brings us to the strategy part, the three-way split.
Right. Zia's army marches past Jinchili and they get to the next big stronghold, Sichuan. The commander there, Han Rong, is apparently terrified. He's sending urgent messages back to the capital, Zhou, begging for reinforcements.
And meanwhile, in Zia's camp...
Well, you've got figures like Neza, always eager for a fight, urging Zia to just attack Sichuan right away.
Yeah.
We've got the momentum, he's basically saying.
Makes sense on the surface. But Zia, being the cautious commander, he says no. Why split the army? Isn't that usually riskier in war, dividing your strength?
It often seems that way, yeah.
Yeah.
But Zia was thinking defensively, actually. Pure risk management. They're facing C1 straight ahead, sure. But there are two other massive enemy fortresses flanking them. Jimengguan on one side, King Longguan on the other.
Okay, I see the problem.
If he throws his entire massive army at Sichuan, what happens? The enemy commanders in those other two forts could launch huge attacks from the sides, cut his supply lines, potentially surround him completely.
Right, that's the logistical nightmare you mentioned. He could win the battle but lose the war if he gets cut off.
Exactly. So Zia realized that keeping everyone together for one big siege was actually more dangerous than splitting up. He needed to neutralize those flanking threats at the same time he dealt with the main one.
So dividing the force wasn't about diluting strength. It was about covering all the bases, turning a potential defensive nightmare into an offensive necessity. 3 simultaneous sieges.
Precisely. It was the safest, most efficient way forward, even though it meant managing 3 separate large armies.
And that meant he needed really capable commanders for those independent forces. They drew lots for the assignments, right?
Yeah, they did. For the 2 secondary roads, Huang Feihu drew the lot for King Longguan off to the east. He got 100,000 troops, and Deng Zhigang was assigned as his vanguard.
Okay. And the other route, the one we're going to follow a bit more closely now, Jiamengguan.
That lot fell to General Hong Zhen. He also got 100,000 troops, and his vanguard was Ji Kang. Zia himself took command of the main force, heading for Sichuan.
So a very clear plan. Neutralize the flanks while tackling the center.
Yep. Ensures that wherever the toughest fight might be, the other fronts are also being actively pushed by strong leaders.
All right, let's follow Hong Zhen's army then to part 3. The battles at Jiamengguan. This is where the source gives us that mix of really weird magic and intense human drama.
It really does. So Hong Zhen's army arrives at Jiamengguan. The defenders there are led by brothers Hu Sheng and Hu Lei, along with generals Yu Kun and Hu Yunping.
Okay. The first fight pits Ji Kang, the Zhou vanguard, against Yu Kun from the Shring side.
Right. They have a proper duel, back and forth for about 50 rounds. Standard stuff, spears and swords.
But then Ji Kang does something unexpected. This is the weird magic part. The source says Ji Kang uses some kind of spell. A black vapor suddenly rises from his head. Okay.
And this vapor instantly forms into, well, a dog's head.
A dog's head, seriously.
Like a phantom dog's head, yeah. And it flies across and clams down right onto Zhu Kun's face.
You're kidding.
Nope. Zhu Kun is, understandably, completely stunned and distracted by having a magic dog's head bite his face.
I would be too.
And in that moment of confusion, Ji Kang just steps in and kills him, swiftly.
Wow. Okay. You can't really train for that kind of magical attack, can you? A dog's head materializing out of vapor.
Definitely not standard military procedure. It really highlights the unique flavor of this particular conflict. Makes an impression.
No kidding. So after that loss, Hu Sheng, one of the commanders, sends out his other general, Hu Yunping. He goes up against the next Zhou challenger, Xuan.
Right. And this is where the fight shifts from magic to politics.
Yeah.
It gets personal.
How so? Hu Yunping doesn't just fight. He starts taunting Xuan.
Yeah, big time. He doesn't just call him an enemy, he calls him a rebel. He basically accuses Xuan of betraying his roots.
Oh.
And then he throws in this really low blow. He reminds Xuan that his own sister is a really high-ranking, favored consort back in the Shang capital, Charge, the morning sun-favored consort, he calls her.
Trying to undermine his loyalty to the Zhou cause, suggesting he's fighting against his own family's interests.
Exactly. It's a sharp political jab designed to question his honor, make him doubt his choices. Is he really committed to Zhou when his family is doing so well under Sham?
How does Xuan react?
He seems pretty focused, maybe hardened to this kind of thing. The source says despite the taunts, he fights fiercely and manages to defeat and kill Hu Yunpeng relatively quickly, within like 30 or 40 rounds.
So 2 fights, 2 dead Sheng generals for Jiamingwan. That's got to hurt their morale.
It shatters it. And this leads directly to this really critical internal conflict between the 2 remaining commanders, the brothers Hu Sheng and Hu Lei. This is where you see pragmatic reality smash right into absolute, unwavering loyalty.
Okay, set the scene.
Hu Sheng, who seems like the more practical of the 2 brothers, sees the writing on the wall. He goes to Hu Lei and says basically, look, we lost 2 top generals back to back. This has to mean the mandate of heaven has shifted. It's favoring Zhou now.
He's reading the signs.
Yeah. He argues that good men shouldn't just die for a lost cause. He suggests they should surrender. It's the logical thing to do.
Makes sense from a purely strategic point of view. But Hu Lei, his reaction is different.
Completely different. His refusal is absolute, and it's grounded entirely in this ancient code of honor and duty.
How does he put it?
He basically reminds Hu Sheng of everything the Shang state has given them: high honors, generous pay, trust. He then quotes this core principle: the ruler's sorrow is the minister's disgrace. Zhu Yu Shenru. For Hu Lei, surrendering isn't just defeat. It's a shameful betrayal of that trust, a moral failure. He declares they must fight to the death. It's the only way to repay the grace the nation has shown them. He won't even consider treason or cowardice.
And Hu Sheng?
He's left speechless.
Yeah.
Because, logically, pragmatically, surrender makes sense. But he can't argue against that deep-seated principle of loyalty that Hu Lei represents, even if he suspects it's leading them to ruin. Zhou General Nan Gongxi gets challenged by Hu Lei.
And the source material makes it really clear this isn't just some minor skirmish. These 2 are totally evenly matched. The text uses phrases like chess opponent and compares their fighting style to like an owl or a vicious beast. They go at it hard.
How long?
For about 30 to 40 rounds, which in this kind of storytelling, that signals a really serious, high-level duel. Neither one is giving an inch.
40 rounds. Wow. Okay, so a stalemate like that means someone needs a smart tactic, not just brute force.
Yeah.
Nan Gongxi figures it out, right? He doesn't just overpower Hu Lei.
No, he totally outsmarts him. He uses this move called Major Pocham, selling a flaw. It's brilliant, really.
Selling a flaw, so he fakes an opening.
Exactly. He pretends to leave himself vulnerable, baiting Hu Lei to make a move. Hu Lei goes for it, thinks he has him. But Nan Gongxi dodges just enough, avoids the fatal blow, and in that same motion grabs Hu Lei. Captures him alive.
Okay, nice move. Victory secured. But Hu Lei, he doesn't exactly take it well, does he?
Oh, not at all. He refuses to play by any rules of surrender. The moment he's brought before the Zhou commander, Hong Jin, he doesn't just refuse to kneel, he starts screaming curses.
What kind of curses?
Really harsh stuff. Calls Hong Jin a traitorous villain, Fan Guo Nize, and even dog and pig Jin Guzie, just complete raw defiance.
Wow. Okay, so no bowing, just insults.
Yeah.
That really ramps up the tension.
It does, and it tells you something about Hu Lei's character, right? He refuses to accept defeat, even staring death in the face. Hong Jin is furious, naturally.
Yeah, imagine. What does he do?
Orders his execution immediately, no hesitation.
All right, so Hu Lei is executed. End of story.
You'd think so. His head's displayed, proof he's dead. But then, like minutes later, a messenger comes tearing in, breathless.
Saying what? Don't tell me.
Yep. Saying Hu Lei is back, out on the battlefield shouting challenges at Hong Jin again.
No way. How do they react? You'd assume the messenger is hallucinating or lying.
Hong Jin is absolutely convinced the messenger is lying, or crazy. He almost has the poor messenger executed for spreading false reports.
Seriously?
Yeah. It takes General Nan Gongxi, the guy who just captured and saw Hu Lei executed, to confirm it, to say, no, look, it's impossible, but that is Hu Lei out there.
Okay, mind blown. So how does an executed man just pop back up? This is where normal military tactics just hit a wall, I guess.
Completely. You need someone who understands the weirder stuff. And that's where Longji Princess comes in, the Dragon Glimmer Princess.
Right. She has mystical knowledge. What's her take?
She's almost dismissive. She immediately identifies it as small sorcery, xiaoshu.
Small sorcery. Okay, so not a god-level miracle. What kind specifically?
She calls it the substitute body method, Tishanfa. Basically, the Hu Lei they executed, that wasn't the real him. It was a decoy, like a magical stand-in he could animate.
A substitute body. Okay. That makes a strange kind of sense in this world. So how do you beat that if killing the body doesn't work?
And this is what's really interesting. The counter isn't some bigger, flashier spell. It's almost surgical, very precise and physical.
What did she do?
Longji Princess used a very specific tool, a 3-inch 5-fen Quang-kun needle, Quang-kun Zen.
A needle? What does she do with it?
It has to be inserted into a very specific spot on the real Hulei's head, his Nihon Gong. It's often translated as the Mud Pill Palace. Think like the crown of the head, a key spiritual center.
So target the spiritual control point with a physical object.
Exactly. That precise physical action aimed at the source of the magic disrupts the connection, extinguishes the actual life force controlling the spell. That's what ensures the permanent death.
Okay, wow. Needle to the head. Brutal, but effective. So now Hulei is definitely gone. The sorcery thread is handled. The pass should be secure.
Right. And with Hulei finally truly dead, his brother, Hu Sheng, who's the actual commander of Jiameng Pass, he sees the writing on the wall.
He must be terrified after seeing that magic trick and the counter magic.
Definitely. And he also recognizes, the Shang dynasty is clearly losing momentum. The mandate of heaven is shifting. So he makes a pragmatic choice.
Which is?
He drafts a formal surrender document, a Najiang Wenshu.
Okay, a surrender. What reason does he give? Just saving his own skin.
He frames it more nobly, actually. The text says he cites wanting to avoid more fighting and saving the populace from misery, Zhu Xingmin Tutu, acknowledging the shift to Zhou is inevitable, basically, trying to prevent more bloodshed.
That sounds reasonable. Sensible, even.
How does Hung Jin react?
He accepts immediately. Gets ready to march his troops into the pass the next morning. Seems like a clean political end to this particular fight.
But this is Feng Shunyanya. It's never that simple, is it?
Never. Just when you think human strategy and diplomacy have won the day, that's when the real power broker shows up.
Wait, so the surrender gets accepted, but then before Hung Jin can even set foot in the pass, this imposing figure arrives. A fierce-looking female Taoist dressed all in red. This is Huling Shenglu, the Fire Spirit Holy Mother.
Fire Spirit Holy Mother. Where does she come from?
From Kuming Mountain. And she is not happy. She declares Hulei, the guy they just killed twice, was her student, Wu Tudi, my student.
Oh boy. So she's here for revenge.
Absolutely. And she immediately overrides everything. Forget the surrender, forget saving the populace. Her loyalty is to her student. She forces Hu Sheng, the terrified commander, to tear up the surrender documents and raise the Sheng banners again.
Just like that, she forces him.
He has no choice. He's faced with this powerful mystic demanding obedience. The surrender is off. Hong Jin is, understandably, absolutely furious at this reversal, this faithlessness Fanfu Wucheng.
So one vengeful master completely blows up a major political agreement and a potential peaceful handover.
Wow. Okay, so how does she plan to hold the pass now? Just her own power?
She's powerful, yes, but she doesn't just rely on herself. She immediately starts building a special occult fighting force. An occult army. What kind?
She creates the Fire Dragon soldiers. This isn't your standard infantry. They're purpose-built for magical warfare.
Fire Dragon soldiers. Okay, tell me about them. How does she make them?
She picks out 3,000 specific soldiers, described as brave, powerful men, Gozhang Biaodahan.
And how are they equipped? Is it special armor or weapons?
It's very specific and very telling. They wear all red, they fight barefoot with disheveled hair, they carry a knife and a banner, and the key items. Each one has a red paper Gordhongzi hulu on their back, and crucially, windfire talismans, Feng Hu Fu Yin written on the soles of their feet.
Talismans on their feet. Okay, that's definitely not standard issue. What's the point of all that?
It all points to channeling elemental power, specifically fire. But before these troops even get into action, the Holy Mother herself takes on Hong Jin again.
And this time Hong Jin knows he's facing a powerful sorceress.
Oh, yes. And this encounter shows a huge difference between Hulei's small sorcery and, well, truly divine level power. She rides this amazing creature, a golden-eyed camel Jin Yantuo.
Golden-eyed camel. Cool. Weapons.
She wields Taya swords Taya Jan. But her real advantage, the game changer, is an artifact she wears. The Golden Cloud Crown Jin Xiaguan.
Golden Cloud Crown. Okay, that sounds powerful. What does it do? Is it like a super helmet?
It's way more than that. She unwraps this pale yellow cloth covering it, and instantly, this massive field of golden light explodes outwards from her.
How massive?
15 to 16 zang. That translates to roughly 50 meters. A 50-meter radius of pure golden light.
50 meters. That's enormous. What does the light do? Is it a barrier? Does it burn people?
It's even smarter than that. The text is very specific here. The golden light lets her see Hong Jin perfectly clearly, but it makes her completely invisible to him.
Wait, what? So she can see him, attack him, but he can't see her at all inside this huge glowing field.
Exactly. It's the ultimate tactical advantage. He's basically fighting a ghost he can't target. She strikes him easily, cuts right through his armor, this linked mail he's wearing.
So he's wounded.
Severely wounded, he has no choice but to turn and flee. The Z commander is instantly defeated because he literally couldn't see his opponent.
Okay, that crown is seriously overpowered. So Hong Jin is retreating, wounded. What happens next? The fire dragon soldiers.
Now they charge. With the general routed, they surge towards the Zhou camp, and it's just absolute chaos. This is where they unleash their main weapon.
A fire, right, from the talismans and the gourds.
Yes. And the text explicitly names the type of fire. It is Sanmei fire. Sanmei
Sanmei fire. You mentioned earlier this is special. What makes it different? It's not just regular fire.
Definitely not. The narrative goes out of its way to clarify this. It says it's not the fire you get from drilling wood, like friction fire. It's not the super hot fire from Laozi's alchemical furnace. And it's not natural fire, like lightning strikes or forest fires, sky fire or wildfire.
So what is it then? Where does it come from?
It's described as being generated through the principles of the 5 elements, Wuxing Shenghua. The talismans, the training, the whole setup allows these 3,000 soldiers to collectively channel and refine elemental energy into this specific destructive heat.
Like an alchemical or magical fire generated by the soldiers themselves.
Exactly. The text even gets a bit poetic, mentioning how liverwood can generate a strong heart fire. It's elemental transformation on a mass scale. And the result is devastating.
How bad is it?
Total pandemonium. The fire causes the Zhou camp to stampede. Animals, soldiers, everyone panicking. The description is grim. Scorched heads and faces, corpses piling up, just mass casualties.
So the entire Zhou camp is basically overrun, destroyed by this magical fire. Hong Jin's wounded and retreating. Is there anyone left who can even try to stop this?
There's one person with the mystical know-how, Longji Princess. She rushes to the front line trying to cast some kind of counterspell against the Sanmei fire.
Okay, can she do it? She handled the body double trick.
But as soon as she gets there, she runs straight into that huge 50-meter field of golden light radiating from the Holy Mother's crown.
The invisibility field.
Right. And the sheer power and scale of it clearly shocks her, maybe throws her off balance for just a second.
And the Holy Mother.
Huling Shengmu doesn't miss the opportunity. While the princess is reeling from the golden light, the Holy Mother attacks her with her sword.
Oh no. What happens to Longji Princess?
And that is where the text leaves us hanging. We don't know her fate in that instant. It's a massive cliffhanger. The Zhou forces are completely routed, their camp is burning, their commander wounded, and their own mystic is under direct attack.